stirring the creatine with the milk frother using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your creatine. You expected that, didn't you? At the molecular level. We'll get started, but first, creatine. Nice.
Nice.
Keep in mind, you only take pre-workout formulas if you're actually working out. Some of you are in a tough spot right now, and my hope is that you'll hear something here on this podcast that ignites a fire in you that cannot be put out. Many times, we hear one little piece of information, something that inspires, something that moves us, ignites something inside of us, flips a switch that will make us unrecognizable by this time next year. Not in 30 days, not in 60 days. This time next year. I don't care if you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s. This podcast is for you. Take what is valuable for you. Ignore the rest. You know, I can't see the wind, but I can tell that the wind is blowing and that it's crazy by the effect that it has on trees and all the crazy motions that the trees are going through. I can't see the details of a relationship, but I can tell if a relationship is crazy by observing all the contortions and the effects on the person that's in that relationship. Relationships are supposed to do good things for you, but usually the first person to tell you it's all good or it's just a flesh wound is the person whose life is whacked out. Denial is a disease. It's better to be single and have happy dating experiences than serially playing house with women and having a revolving door in your bedroom. The smartest people I know, the smartest men I know, act so dumb and they put so much on the line because they just can't be alone. Because they just can't be alone. They're not comfortable with having a table for one. You need to wake up from that slumber, my brother.
Wake the fuck up.
Can you do it by yourself? Yes, but it's easier when you have teammates with you. Who is on Team Robert? Who is on Team Steve? Who is on Team Kevin? Who is on Team Frank? Do you have a team? Do you have people that will tell you the truth, help you out, give you a helping hand up? And then eventually when you get there, you can reach down and help pull somebody else up. The guys in your network are like elevators. They can take you up or take you down. And I actually heard that this morning from John Edwin, who is a neighbor of mine, who is just a tremendous guy. I'm going to have him on the podcast. And I knew who the guy was. I was just connected with him because I was looking into a mastermind group that I want to join, but you have to have a certain net worth to get to it. But I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. If there's nobody in your network who you can aspire to be like, you are in the wrong network, my brother. You really are. You've heard me say that I drank for 56 years. Not abusively. Have I ever gotten intoxicated? Yes. Okay, have I ever gotten sick? Yes. But it wasn't a lifestyle. It wasn't a problem for me. The people that I respect, there's many of them, and I'll give you a few, that unknowingly influenced me to go alcohol-free, not because they were raging alcoholics, because everybody knows people in recovery, people who identify as being sober and all this kind of stuff, attend meetings. Nothing wrong with that. If that's what you need to do, go for it. But these are people that rationally came to the conclusion that it's not good for them. I used alcohol for 56 years. 56 years. And I decided it was time. That list of people, William Mandelbaum, you know him. Stacy Redfield, my friend, stopped drinking a couple years ago. Super successful. Just her life changed when she stopped drinking alcohol. I'm not giving you a list of alcoholics here. I'm giving you a list of people who, like me, used alcohol and came to the conclusion that what if they didn't do it? How would their life change? Like the book Tribe of Millionaires says. Hold on, I'll get that book for you. I am working my way through this book called Tribe of Millionaires. And the subtitle is, What If One Choice Could Change Everything? As I was doing some studying of joining mastermind groups, I called a guy in Texas. He says, yeah, we got a guy in Pennsylvania you probably should get to know. And maybe he can help you and kind of fill you in on what it's like to be in the tribe of millionaires. And he gave me the name of a guy, and I did some pointing and clicking. There's a chapter in the book dedicated to him, John Edwin. He lives across the street, down one house from me. Is that serendipity or what? An amazing man, one of the most successful personal trainers in the country, incredible businessman, and he's literally 100 feet from me. You can't make this up. And he's going to be introducing me to some men that are at the levels that I want to be at. The guys who make 100,000, they want to make 1 million. The guys who make 1 million want to make 5 and 10 million. The guys who make 10 million want to make 1 billion. Not because they're greedy, but because they are challenging themselves constantly. They want to be the best version of themselves. And one of the things I noticed with groups like this tribe of millionaires, is they're super family oriented. This is not the chicks on a yacht. This is not a guy in a bathing suit surrounded by like 10 chicks in bikinis on the back of a yacht somewhere or driving supercars and this kind. These are guys who provide well, who have nice homes, great kids, wonderful wives, and it's no coincidence. If that's the kind of stuff you want, you got to hang out with people like that. You have to seek them out. They're not going to seek you out. Think about it. People don't seek out people who are underneath them. Okay? But they are available to help. All you have to do is ask. Adam Mandelbaum, Stacy Redfield, fitness personality, Shalene Johnson, Rich Cooper, who many of you know, Rollo Tomasi, Tucker Carlson, all stopped drinking alcohol. And I say that because what if that is the one choice that they made that helped them succeed? I can tell you right now that every single person that I just named, stopping alcohol was actually a component in their success. Do I know super successful people that do drink? Yeah, I do. Do I know super successful people that get high every now and then and utilize a little green leaf? Yes. Do I know people who are super successful that have like some weird personal lives and some stuff in their lives that I'm not interested in? Yes, I do know people like that. But these are people who have been an example to me, and I'm happy to introduce you to them. So stopping alcohol could be, or whatever, fill in the blank, could be the one thing that changes everything for you, even if you're not a problem drinker. You know, there will be a last time, now back to my regularly scheduled content, there will be a last time that she withholds intimacy from you. You are the only one, sir, that will determine what will be the point of no return. How long will she shut you out of the bedroom, out of the bed? And I'm not talking about just inserting A into B, okay? This is about shutting you out. When a woman shuts you off from intimacy, and I'm not talking about two pieces of flesh on each other, I'm talking about intimacy. When she shuts you out from intimacy, there's going to be a last time. And only you can determine when that's going to be. And you don't give any ultimatums, all right? As I heard people say in the past, ultimatums are the ultimate expression of helplessness. So you never want to give ultimatums. She withheld sex and intimacy from you, and she's not depressed, sick, or someone died. Strike one. Why? She knows what that does to you, and it's a passive-aggressive way of punishing you or to even the score. Some people say, but a good Christian woman won't do that. Oh, really? Most of the cases that I'm aware of are Christian couples, Christian women, church-going women. They go to the ladies' Bible study every Tuesday. But I will say that good Christian women especially are the ones to do that because everybody will take their side. Nobody questions a church woman ever, do they? It's tit for tat. That's alive and well in Christian relationships and marriages, modern Christian relationships and marriages. Even if you messed up unintentionally, the restaurant will be closed for business. So it's up to you how many strikes that you will take, sir. Men are pretty easy to please, aren't we? I mean, when it comes to business and accomplishing things, there are mountains to climb. There are challenges that we have. A relationship with your wife or LTR or lifelong companion shouldn't be that difficult. Men are easy to please. Don't get fat. Don't embarrass me publicly. And don't withhold intimacy from me. It's simple. It's not rocket science. Sir, your marriage failed, but you are not a failure. One of your biggest tasks is to take ownership of what happened, determine if you played a role in the demise of your marriage, and if there's things, fix them. Appeal to your natural instinct to want to fix things, not give up. You might actually be suffering from learned helplessness, where you might think, no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. And men can be trained into thinking that all of their efforts are in vain and useless. But you, sir, are not one of those guys. You have to unlearn the learned helplessness. God doesn't take pleasure in the death of the wicked. That one always gets me. Oops. I knew that I wasn't good at being Christian because I take pleasure in the inconvenience, the pain, and struggle, and never forget what people did to me. And I would 300, you know the movie 300, I would 300 kick them into the abyss if I had the opportunity to. Man, I've got a long way to go. How about you? My entire life, I've heard men say they want to make sure their wife and children are taken care of if something happens to them with life insurance, with various policies that they have, with having a home paid for, money in the bank, having assets. As women have become strong and independent, and those of you guys who are single, that's the first thing, that's usually one of the first things that a woman says on her dating resume. Did you ever notice that online women, like women that are on online dating sites, their dating profile sounds like the resume of a 40-year-old executive? Are women that damn clueless as to what is attractive to a man? Seriously. I've traveled the world. I slept on Machu Picchu. I have 2 MBAs. Show me that you can make a chicken pot pie. Can you calm my shit down after I had a rough day? Can you not make your needs a priority when I walk in the house, even though my job is to leave all my shit outside the door and bring you peace when I walk in? What if I'm not quite there? Lady, can you show me some grace? Can you show me some love that will reduce my anxiety? I told you the story coming home one day from work and I was all stressed out. This is over 20 years ago. Walked in the door. My wife knew that I was stressed out. She was pretty good at this. I will say something nice about her. And she knew that something was off. I had a rough day. Didn't have a chance to decompress. And she says, why don't you go take a motorcycle ride? Rather than, what the hell got into you? Or who pissed in your cornflakes? You know, like something, not some smart-ass comment. Why don't you go take a motorcycle ride? She knew right away that I was stressed out. And that one of the things that helps me calm down is taking a ride on the motorcycle. And I went to an area, drove around a lake, got to one spot on a highway that's open road for about 5 miles. And I just opened it up and I was going about 110, feeling it, just the wind in my face. And it just felt great. Then I went on some twisties. It was beautiful. It was gone for about 40 minutes. I walked in the door. First thing out of her mouth was, there's my husband. She knew that I was stressed out. She knew that a quick little motorcycle ride would calm me down. But as women have become strong and independent, I've never heard the words come out of their mouth, I want to make sure that my family's taken care of if something happens to me. His money is our money, but her money is her money. It's an absolute fact. And those of you who've been through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a great line. We've grown apart. Whenever you hear a woman say that we've grown apart, that usually means that she's just banging some guy at work. Your strong, independent wife grew apart from you with the help of someone else. It's weird, but some people just look like trouble. You don't even know any details about them, but you just know. You feel it. What's weirder is that some people don't have that trouble detector built into their brains. A lot of men don't. They see beauty and they become stupid. They got the breast goggles on. Some ignore the red flags, but then there's the type that don't even have a mechanism inside of them that recognizes red flags. And danger, Will Robinson. They don't have the thing in their brain that says this is bad, stay away, danger. They just plow forward, ignoring all the well-intentioned people who can already see a gloomy future. Most people, most men, are not open to being re-guided, gently persuaded if they're going down a wrong path. Don't you be one of those guys. Let me ask you this. What are the qualities of a ride or die woman? Those of you guys who ride motorcycles, you know that that's a phrase, a ride or die woman, an R-O-D woman, is a reliable, faithful woman. Many times when a man thinks he found his ride or die, he sets himself up for a serious letdown. And in all of my years, I've only seen a handful of ride or die women, and it's getting less and less every year. I love this meme. It says, I am not a ride or die chick. I have questions. Where are we riding to? And why do I gotta die? Can't I just be the go-to work and you call me later chick? That made me laugh. I have built a large community of like-minded men here who are always up for improving themselves. They put themselves in rooms where there are people that are more successful than them. The majority of these men are conservative-ish, not fans of big government. They want to amass wealth while they can, and they've bounced back from some pretty dark circumstances. And I thoughtfully curate my following here and delete and block regularly to keep a positive, hopeful, and optimistic vibe for the men who follow here. I'm not desperate for subscribers. I'd love to have 1 million subscribers who have the proper motivation to improve, but I'm okay with 272,000, but I do want to get to 1 million because I am a metrics-oriented guy. And for the OGs here that have been with me for a long time, I just want to say thank you and just let you know that we can make a positive impact in this world. There's no reason why we can't. It begins with you. You can't make an impact in this world unless you make an impact on yourself. Those who seek to redefine masculinity, which is something that's been happening for about the past 10 years, have only one motive in mind, and that's the emasculation, the castration of men, figuratively and literally. Guess what? You don't get to redefine the evident design that God coded into men's DNA that makes them men. And it can't be suppressed without dire consequences. And guess what? We as a country, we as a world are starting to reap the consequences of men not being men. So what is it with men saying things like, my wife let me go to this, or I have to check with the boss first? You know, I understand the playfulness of it all, but there's some truth to that on a deeper level. The healthiest relationships are the ones where nobody is whooped, p-whooped, controlled, hovered over, needs a higher level of approval for their behavior, interests, hobbies, friends. If the wife is choosing wild friends, could it be that she is living vicariously through them because she feels controlled? If the guy needs a night out with the guys, can it be that he's not been allowed to be a guy in his own home? I see way too many people on a spiral, dying with their song in them, with ideas in them. The healthiest people I know entice that song out of their partner, out of their spouse's heart, even if it means the partner needs time and space to do so. No more letting people do stuff. No more asking for permission to do things. You can inform people, inform your spouse, but don't ask for permission to do something that's going to better you and the family. Now, there's a reason why men create man caves and workshops, and it's not just all for function. There's a reason why a woman might want a kitchen to her liking, even though she's not a French chef. She may want the quintessentially equipped office, craft room, hobby lobby, or art studio. If you married the wrong person and are now in a 7, 10, 20, 30 or more year rut, then there's really not much I can say. People can marry people for all the wrong reasons and then beg God to fix it and then blame him if it doesn't magically improve. Sometimes you have to sleep in the bed that you made. How many here have ever slept in the bed that they made? It's called consequences. However, if both people practice loosening their grip on the other, a new relationship could possibly emerge. A fresh one, not a hybrid. But the biggest enemy to that is fear. Some people will screw it up because it may mess up their schedule, they need to control, or they don't trust. Which person are you? And finally, a quote from one of my favorite authors, C.S. Lewis. You are never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream. It's time to start dreaming, sir. And with that, finish your creatine pre-workout, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.
Oh, you crazy?